Hey, beautiful souls. Welcome to my channel, Earth Angel Tarot. And in today's Isis Unveiled reading, we will be taking a look at who in your life is a karmic relationship, okay? And what lesson is it that they bring, okay? And so these are the three cards that wanted to come out for this reading. Go ahead, take a look and see which one of these images calls out to you the most. And as usual, I will put the image up again for a couple of more seconds. This way you can see which one of these images you're really resonating with, okay? And whichever image that is, that will be the pal that will have messages in it for you. All right, my loves. So happy picking. Hello to those of you who chose pal number one. So this is your image. All right, and the message is healing the divine masculine. Okay, and it says the divine masculine within provides protection, discernment, healing, in a sense of deep safety and holding, even through the most uncomfortable circumstances of life. Your inner masculine is going through healing right now, growing stronger in the ability to offer you inner protection and stability so that your inner feminine can blossom with creative expression. All right. So you guys have healing the divine masculine. And what I just got from this message, beautiful pal number one, is some of you have been on guard, right? On guard, especially with your emotions. Okay, there's a brick wall that's up for some of you, and it has been up for a while now. But there were circumstances and situations that caused that wall to go up. Okay, and I'm getting that it's even been a while ago. There's been certain situations and circumstances that has caused that wall to go up. And even though things may have changed, the situations or the circumstances may have changed, pal number one, that wall is still up, acting as a protective barrier. Okay, and I'm getting to your emotions. Okay, so I'm also getting like you've been hurt once before in some shape, form, or the other, and you refuse to allow that to happen again. Okay, so even though that situation or circumstance may longer be present, you refuse to go through another form of hurt in the way that you went through. Okay, and however that resonates with you, take it as such. All right, and so there is a healing around the divine masculine that needs to take place. Okay, because you are blocking your inner feminine from being able to shine, to blossom, as the card says, right? Because you have been put in situations where you had to act more on a level of having this strong protective wall around you, um, for the sake of for the sake of sanity, right? For the sake of keeping your sanity. But a spirit is saying those times have come to a pass, and you need to now allow for that inner masculine to heal and allow yourself to know that things will be okay. All right, and that you are now preparing to be in a place where you can work with not only your feminine but have more of a balance between the both. All right, the divine masculine and the divine feminine as well. All right, and so now we'll take a look and see. That's the message that came through with that. But now we'll take a look to see what person in your life may have something to do with this healing of the divine masculine, right? It could have been the person who caused you to put that barrier up, or it could be the person who's going to help you to bring that barrier down. All right, so we'll just go ahead and see who this is for you in your life, pal number one. All right, and then you guys have grandparent. keeper of the past. Okay? And the message is, as they carry the weight of generations, sometimes lifting you with wisdom, other times crushing you with outdated beliefs, you learn that lineage is both a gift and a curse. It is your choice what parts of the past to carry forward. Yes. And so this how number one, um, this reminds me of another reading that I did, and I can't even remember which one that is. But if I do, I'll put it in the description box below, okay? Because there may be, I'm getting like a connection between that past reading that I did with this. And that's just to say that you guys are the product of um, I'm getting ancestral curses, right? So this healing power number one that you need to do around the divine masculine, it doesn't start with you. Okay, it's what I'm getting. It's not starting with you. It is something that has been in your family lineage for a very long time. Okay, and with this grandparent showing up, I'm feeling that this is someone who was especially stern in the belief system that has been passed down to you. Okay. And so now you, pal number one, are someone who is meant to break the curse, someone who is meant to break the cycle, someone who is meant to heal the divine masculine. Okay. Um, the grandparent showing up, maybe you guys were raised by the grandparent, okay, instead of the actual mother or father. So some of you may have grew up in your grandparents' household, okay, and because you were under their roof, obviously you would have been raised up under their ways, under their belief systems, okay, whether good or bad. But I'm really getting mostly not good vibes, okay, in the sense that their beliefs, their belief system that they were working with would have been something that obviously comes from a different time era, right? And so definitely outdated beliefs, okay, but they refuse to let them go. They refuse to be the one who could see the light, right? And so instead of teaching something different, they chose to continue to teach the only thing that they ever knew, right? So you guys are here to break that pattern. All right, and as the card says, the weight of generations. Okay, it can be good or bad, right? You can have a grandparent who teaches and instills love and light, all right, and who provides you wisdom, or you can have a grandparent who taught you the complete opposite, right? Hate, judgments, like um, just different outdated beliefs that no longer serves today's modern society, but they refuse to let go of, that form of thought, right? And so it may have been something that has been instilled in you, and it was instilled in you in a way where you may have been taught that in order to survive, you have to be this stern, hard, no nonsense type of person, maybe even to another type of people. And I'm getting even making you feel that that's what's going to make you be better, right? Or what something that makes you a better person. Okay. And so this is what you are here to heal. Pal, number one, you are here to heal your grandparents' old belief system. I do get this as more of something that needs to be healed um, in the form of negative thoughts and patterns, okay, even behaviors, whether than you taking on something positive from your grandparent and continuing it on, all right, into future generations. I don't feel like that is the case with this. I do feel like you guys are meant to break things that were passed on from grandparents that are outdated, and that no longer serve or have a place in today's world. All right. So let's see what else we have. We have conflict, chaos energy, okay? The storm that feeds itself. Yes, and this is exactly what I was saying. Like, instead of choosing to break out of the energies, right? Um, the grandparents, in this sense, they just chose to keep that energy going. And I do feel like it was in the form of ignorance. Okay, that's the word that's coming through, a form of ignorance, right? People, we all have a choice whether or not to stay ignorant to the things that we believe to be true, right? Or whether or not we're going to break free of that cycle and learn for ourselves and develop our own belief systems and our own feelings based on our own personal interactions. All right. And so I feel like with this grandparent card showing up in your family lineage, your grandparent may have had a chance to be that person to do that. Because they are the closest thing to the newest generation than what the past would have been, but they chose not to, right? They chose to keep being the storm that was feeding itself. All right. And so the message here is the energy thrives on discord, stirring tension where there was once peace. It can come in many forms as it twists words, ignites tempers, and fuels misunderstandings, never seeking resolution. Only more chaos for the confusion. Chaos is its comfort, and division is its power. Are you caught in the storm, or are you the one keeping it alive? Step back and see things from a different perspective. The energy is short lived with no fuel. Yes, so that's what I mean, pal number one. You guys are meant to break the cycle, okay? Are you going to be the one who's going to be caught in the storm, or are you going to be the one that's going to step aside and look at things from a different perspective? All right, so that you can heal the divine masculine. All right. And I'm also getting with the healing of the divine masculine and this grandparent card here. This may be the paternal family line. Okay. This may be your paternal family line. That carries this energy mostly, okay? And so you are meant to be, pal number one, that beacon of light, right? And not just for yourself, okay, pal number one, but for your future generations. It's going to be very important for you to break the curse. Okay, it's what I'm getting. It's going to be very important for you to break the curse for future generations. You are meant to be the one who's going to help lighten the load and to release the burden and to bring in light. Okay, teach your future generation started with now the complete opposite of this storm, this conflict, okay? And these may people who are be people or could have been people who were um, very quick to judge, right? Very quick to judge, very quick to throw accusations, okay? Very quick to set themselves apart from others based on a feeling of superiority. All right. And so you are going to be the one, pal number one, to come in and help heal your family lineage by healing this divine masculine. All right, because it is a curse within this family, paternal bloodline, I'm getting that needs to be healed. All right, that needs to be healed because your family bloodline have thrived off, not even thrived in the positive way, but they have fed off of this energy for long enough. Okay, it's what spirit is saying. They have fed off of this energy for long enough within your family line, and you are meant to be the one to break that curse. All right. And then you guys have intimidation. Yes, the intimidation is another form of conflict, another form of chaos energy, right? Feeling like you're bigger and better, so you try to use that as a way to hover, not you as in the pile number one, but this is the type of energy that people carry, right? When they prefer conflict and they prefer chaos, right? They use this form of intimidation to make it seem as if They are bigger and they are better. All right. And this is exactly what you are meant to break. Pile number one, that feeling of superiority or feeling like you're bigger and you're better. Okay. Especially if this is something that has been passed along in your bloodline. In order for this family line to heal, pile number one, this is the curse that you're going to have to break by teaching your future generation, starting with the ones now, any children that you have, any grandchildren that you have. It's going to be important for you to teach them love and light. Okay, this is what's going to break the family curse. All right, that surrounds your family. Okay, so instead of teaching them superiority or feeling that they're better, they need to be taught equality. They need to be taught that everyone has the same chance and opportunity when they trust their light. Okay, so even though the world may not present the same chance and opportunity, right? When we all know that that's how the world works, right? There's a sense of superiority around how the world works. The world may not do it, but we as individuals can, right? You as an individual can. You can allow for your generations to see that there's equal opportunity, right? When you work with the divine, because the divine is our sole provider. The universe is our sole provider. So we have to learn to look to them for our needs rather than man-made or man-based expectations. All right. And so this is going to be part of the cycle that you're breaking. Power number one is it's not having your family live out this feeling of superiority or being better, but instead and live in love and light and equality. All right. And then we have a blockage to the crown chakra. Yes, this is so fitting because the blockage, the crown chakra, is the closest thing, right, to the divine, that opening space for the light to come through. And this is what I was just feeling like, or I was saying throughout this reading, there has been a disconnect with that, right? This family line has lived mostly in what the 3D, what the physical offered, right? And living based solely off of um being this like on being in the sense of feeling that the only thing that matters is what's here, right? So as long as you have control and power down here on the 3D, nothing else matters. So this is what caused the disconnect, right? A blockage of the crown chakra. Okay, and this message says will show up as a sense of disconnection from the divine. Yes, this is exactly what I said before even reading the card, right? And it says spiritual confusion or feeling purposeless, leaving you cut off from universal wisdom. Yes, it may manifest as cynicism, lack of faith, or difficulty finding meaning and inner peace. Yes, and if you don't break this cycle, pile number one, this is what you will continue throughout your generations, right? They won't have that connection to the divine. They won't gain the insight and clarity they need in order to move forward. Instead, if this cycle is just going to continue, right? It's just going to continue to circulate um, into the future generations if it's not broken now. All right. And this just means that your future generations will never have a sense of belonging if you don't correct this now. Your future generations will not have a sense of belonging. Pile number one, if you don't correct this now. All right. And you are the person who is meant to break this cycle or who has been given the authority to. But as you all know, we all have a choice. Okay. We all have a choice on what it is that we carry out in our lifetimes. Okay. So you've been granted the authority, pile number one, to correct this. But of course, at the end of the day, it is your choice how you proceed. but there is a blockage in the crown chakra in your family lineage, right? You guys have this disconnect going between yourselves and the universe because your family lineage has kept you stuck so much in the 3D based off their 3D way of thinking and being, right? It's almost like they got stuck. All right. And they got stuck and they just formed all of their beliefs based off the 3D way of viewing things, right? They didn't leave that opening for spirituality. They didn't leave that opening for the connection to work with their previous ancestors who may have, been there to say, hey, let's correct this. They didn't have an opening for their spirit guides, their angels, right? The universe to come in and teach them another way. All right, but you do, and this is going to be your opportunity to do that. All right. And then you guys have needing to address a control wound. Yes, and it's all this is look, intimidation, control, healing the divine masculine, conflict, chaos. Like this is what has been going on within your family line. All right, superiority, right? Feeling like you're better than, being attached to like this type of energy that is just like, um, it's so funny because it's like being attached to this energy that you think is powerful, but it is really powerless. All right, so it's like an illusion, right? There's like this been this illusion that's been keeping the family lineage trapped, right? It's this illusion that keeps you stuck in the 3D, that keeps this family stuck in the 3D, right? And this is why it's going to be important for you to break out of that. All right. And this says will show up as a strong need to control people or situations. And this is what I'm saying, like when I was talking about that brick wall earlier, right? There's this brick, and initially I thought it was coming from a brick wall of, you know, emotions where you were possibly hurt, right? And so you didn't want that to happen again for whoever that would have resonated with. But now I'm seeing that the brick wall is this stubborn wall of change, right? Not allowing change to come in. This is what the brick wall that I was talking about earlier, that's what that brick wall is. Okay, that brick wall is change, the change not being allowed. All right, and so that's what's meant to be torn down at this time. All right, and then it also says, okay, so will show up as a strong need to control people or situations stemming from a fear of vulnerability or unpredictability. It often arises from past abandonment or betrayal, causing anxiety and perfectionism when things feel out of control. Individuals may struggle to trust others and seek to avoid emotional pain by micromanaging outcomes. Yes, and this is exactly what I was saying with the healing, the divine masculine um, message there. All right, not allowing others to get close because you want to control the situation, especially around your emotions. All right, and I do feel like in this particular case, this is not allow. So even though, right, there, I'm getting there's a strong sense of this power knowing right from wrong, right? But it's been that the belief systems and patterns that have been instilled in you are very strong, okay, and they have been there for so long, and so that you were taught power number one for the majority. What you were taught, to sum this up, is to judge a book by its cover, right? This is the energy that I'm picking up, right? Feeling that you're better, judging a book by its cover, trying to use a form of intimidation and control, right? To manipulate the situation or to just get what you want in a sense. Um, so because that has been instilled in you, right? You know right from wrong. So there's a piece of you, right, that feels the wrong in that, right? But because there's this crown chakra blockage, right, that's not allowing the divine to fully come through and show you even more that your belief system and patterns that has been passed down to you are wrong. You struggle with that, right? You struggle with allowing yourself to open up, because if you do, you'll feel like you're out, you've lost control, right? And you may have been taught, especially from a grandparent, to always make sure that you have control around situations, okay? And so this is what you're going to need to learn to do. How number one is to relax and let go of all of those outdated old patterns and beliefs. Okay, because the grandparent showing up here is very significant. Okay, and as the message said, the grandparent is keeper of the past. You are in the present, and you are meant to be the keeper of the future. Okay, so let go of all of that past belief, power number one, in order so that you yourself can move forward. And especially, okay, they're highlighting especially your future generations, because this is what is going to, or that is what is going to break this curse that's keeping you blocked from the divine. All right. And then you have to endure is to evolve. All right. Your wounds tell your story, but your scars do not define you. Only you can do that. Yes, only you can make this change now. Okay. Pal number one, only you can make the change. Okay. You may have been wounded by all of this past energy that was in your family line, but you are here and meant to evolve from that. Okay. And you have the people that you lose during your healing process are only meant to be with the unhealed version of you. Yes, so this is to say that people, especially if this is a family thing, people who want to stay stuck in those old patterns and old beliefs, let them do so. Okay, and that'll be their choice, as well as that'll be their future generations that have to do with them not breaking that curse. But you have the ability, power number one, to heal yourself and to heal your family line. Okay, and let them, as the card says, let them stay with the stay unhealed over on that side. Okay, as you start the healing journey and process for on your side, okay, for yourself and your future generations. All right, so now let's take a look and see what tarot messages wants to come through. So thank you, beautiful beloved mother goddess Isis. What additional messages do you have for pile number one? All right, around the karmic relationship in their life. All right, so yes, pile number one, you guys are meant to heal this karmic relationship through I'm getting this the paternal line, okay, in your family. It is the paternal line. Some of you may have grown up with your grandparents, like I said. Even if you didn't, though, they may have had a strong presence in your life and instilled different ways of thinking and patterns within yourself, leaving it difficult for you to choose. Look at this. We have the Two of Swords, right? And this is just like what I was saying a little bit ago. You guys know right from wrong, right? On the deep soul level, like you know when something isn't right and you know what something isn't wrong, but you've been being pulled in two different directions. And remember how I was also just saying, like, there's a small portion of you, right, that's still connected to the divine. It's overshadowed though by the 3D, because look how there's only like a little version of this bird here and there's more of this one here. So you're being pulled in two directions, right? And you have been for a long time. And so there's still a little piece of connection, right, to the divine, but there's a blockage. So you all have the ability to remove the blindfold so you can see through the illusion, all right, that's been presented to you for probably most of your life. All right. But you, and the Two of Swords is also a card of choice. Just like I was just saying, you guys have a choice whether or not to make the change. Pile number one. You guys have the choice to break the cycle, to break the curse. All right. And normally I say cycle, but I do especially feel like this has been a curse on this family line. Look at this, guys. We have the Ten of Swords. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Like endings. All right. And this is you bringing the endings um, to the family trauma. Okay. It's what I'm getting. All right. You being that one soldier, right? That one lonesome soldier here who's going to start a new chapter. Look at this, walking towards the dawn of a new day. All right, and look at the birds above her, like here, like following her, right? This is the divine coming through. So whereas the crown chakra was blocked, right? You had that blockage. This is once you make the choice to end cycles, end old cycles. This is now the divine coming to you. All right, that blockage no longer being there. All right, and this will give you guys so much more insight and clarity. Okay, and I'm getting, you will feel the release. You will feel the release. Pile number one, and you'll feel it mainly and especially on a spiritual level. But it's gonna clear so much karmic debt. So much karmic debt in your family line just from you making this choice to end old cycles. Pile number one, you are going to be clearing a lot of karmic debt in your family line. All right. And then presents the opportunity for new growth, right? Planting new seeds. Yes, look at this. It's just so freaking beautiful. Like, you guys are here to plant new seeds, break the family curse. And you are the one who is called to do this, right? Your family curse have been, your family lineage has been, and family curse too, has been around for a long time with this outdated beliefs and outdated patterns and behaviors. And it's just been like generation after generation. Okay, generation after generation, and no one was seeing that, there was no good coming from it. But you are the one to see that. Pile number one, look at this, Three of Swords. And to end it once and for all, right? To free yourself. Look at that. Like, look how she just like wants to like scream to the top of her lungs because all the pain in the hurt, and she's just now ready for it to be released, right? And this is what you plant in the seeds. Pile number three. And let me try to see if I can put this up some more. It's like this so you can see. But yes, you planting these seeds, pile number one, allows the release of all the hurt, the pain, the anger that this family line has carried for so long. Wow, and it's been for so long. Look at the tree in the background, and tree signifies not only life but like roots. Like, this has been just like in the family roots since forever, and you guys get the chance to free it. You get this pal, you get the chance to start fresh, to plant new seeds for a better generation within your family line, one that is of light and love, releasing that blockage of the crown chakra, the connection to the divine that has been disconnected. You get the opportunity to connect your family line back to the divine. Pal number one. So this is really deep. Like, I feel like, especially on a soul level, this is really deep because you get to cure your family line. Pal number one. You really get to cure them and to heal a lot of karmic debt through healing the divine masculine, the paternal family line within your family. All right. So that is all I have for you, my loves. Really hope you enjoy. If so, please be sure to like, share, and comment. And so next time, you guys take care and bye bye. Hello to those of you who chose pile number 2. So this is your image. All right, and the message is the dark healing chamber. All right, and it says, and the most challenging task is to take courage in both hands and journey within to meet our own dark self and begin the healing task of bringing love, acceptance, and light to it. The sacred purpose of any enemy, within or without, is to push us to venture inwards, to seek and heal the darkness within. All right, so right away, I'm picking up that whoever the karmic relationship, whoever is the person who is a karmic relationship for you, pile number 2, they are here and meant to help you in this healing of the dark chamber process. Okay, so we'll see who that person is. We'll see who shows up as being the person who's meant to help you with the healing challenges, okay, that you may have been experiencing throughout the journey of your life, right? And I'm getting that for you all, it has been a process, okay? It has been a process. And the goal is to continue to move forward with this, okay, to take the courage, okay, to continue to persevere and to continue to push through. All right. And I'm really curious now with this dark healing chamber because, like I say, I'm getting that this person or that's going to show up is someone who is meant to help you in this process. But I'm really curious now when we look at the cards to see if they're meant to help you in a positive way, or if they are the ones who have set the tone to you needing to go through this healing chamber. All right. So we'll actually go ahead and see, we'll take a look now so we can see who this is. All right. All right. And so you guys have community figure. All right. And it says mass benefactor. All right. So some type of community figure, but let's read the message. And right away, what I just got, pal number 2, is this connection, okay, with this community figure. I'm getting it could be some type of a I'm getting like church figure, right? Some type of church figure. I'm even at the word priest that has come up. So some type of connection between let's just, I'm not going to use spiritual authority figure, but there's some type of figure. There's a connection between, well, let's just see, because right now it's kind of foggy, right? So I can't make the full connection, but let's see what the message says. And it says a reputation built on service, but behind closed doors, their actions told another story, whether through hypocrisy, hidden agendas, or selective generosity. They teach that not all who appear to serve with the same intention. Mm, yes, 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 yes. So now I'm getting almost like a cult type of energy, right? I'm getting like church, like I was feeling like church energy, but it's really, it's like there's not a clear connection. But what I am getting, how number 2, is that you all don't have a clear connection, okay? Because of being um Even the words don't want to come through correctly. Um, Deceived, right? So some of you may have grew up in households or in communities, right, where you were deceived for a majority of your life. All right, the mass benefactor, right? So people who um, taught you one thing or another, and these are things that you grew up, whatever these things that were taught, believing to be the truth, but it's only until a certain point later in life that you realize that some things are not just quite adding up. Same way how I feel like this energy is not adding up, right? This is the disconnect, right? So some of you have been raised in these religious groups, okay? And the word cult even is coming up. So not to say the two are related. There's religious groups and then there's cults, or some people may like to, you know, intermingle them together. But in this case, I do feel that there's the religious groups sector and there's cults. So some of you have been raised up in these type of environments or these communities. And I'm getting now the word brainwashed, right? So a lot of you have been brainwashed for a majority of your lives, okay, around believing or made to believe certain truths. All right. And so this is where the dark healing chamber comes in now, because it is now time, or maybe it has been time. Okay, this, you may or may not just be at the beginning phase of your journey, but the time has come, whether it's now or it's been in the most recent past, the time has come for you to heal from all of these false truths. Okay, for you to heal from all of these false truths. Okay, waking up to the illusion. All right, waking up to the illusion. Pal number 2. All right, and with community figure coming up here, mass benefactor, I really feel like it's for a strong amount or group of you. It's the fact that you were raised in some type of religious sector, and you, instead of being entitled to your own views and opinions, you had to consume what it is that they were providing to you. Okay, the dogmas, the stigmas, you had to consume all of that, and it's made you into a person. So now when you really begin to see beyond the veil, you realize that it has been lies that has been fed to you this whole time, right? And so now it's up to you, as the dark healing chamber card says, to take the courage in both hands and journey within, and to meet, okay, to meet that version of yourself that you want to release. All right, meet the version of yourself you want to release, that version that has been created for you but not by you. All right. I was even getting at the beginning, but I'm getting now again. Wolf is sheep's disguise. Okay, it's the type of energy that you've grown up around, and it was never for the benefit of self, as in you, but for the benefit for the whole. Okay, which is the group on the other side. All right. So then you guys also have sympathy seeker energy. Yes, preying on the weak. Okay, is what I just got from that. Preying on the weak. Okay, preying on the weak in order to fulfill their desires. All right, and so you have not all cries for help seek healing, some seek control. I mean, this literally, and I don't really see the picture in the background too, but this literally ties hand in hand with this. You have community figure with mass benefactor, and then you have sympathy seeker. And look, I don't know how well you can see this, but you see how this evil looking clown figure in the background is actually like the puppeteer, right? He's actually like the puppeteer to the clown. And as we know, clowns usually wear a mask, right? And look at this. We have the mask benefactor. And look, there's even a shadow behind him. And I didn't even pay attention to that. So this is like the fact that this is so in sync is crazy. But yeah, so this is what you guys are healing from, okay? Being lied to your whole life about something, right? And now coming into a new version of yourself. But let's continue reading the card. So it says, this energy drapes itself in sorrow, infusing guilt into the hearts of those who listen. Yes, making you feel bad for wanting to be yourself, right? It drains rather than replenishes, feeding on compassion until the well runs dry. Be mindful. Are you offering support, or are you being lured into an endless rescue mission? How to tell? Are they willing to help themselves when you lend a hand, suggestion, or a resource? Or is it a plethora of buts, I can't, and you just don't understand? All right. So, yes, like this is just like so fitting. And like, look how you have like the crowd of people. This is why I was like picking up cult and religious sectors and all of that. You like have all the crowd of people, you know, surrounding, really willing to support, and not even realizing, right? Not even realizing, because at this point they become so brainwashed to even acknowledge or recognize that even the person who they look up to is being controlled by somebody else. So just to feed this load of crap, right? And to see who takes the bait and to see who falls for it. And I feel like pile number two, you guys are waking up from this. So you all, whoever this resonates with, you will know exactly what this is in your life, right? What part of whatever this is in your life that uh, you are meant to break away from. And you've probably felt that desire to break away from this for a long time. All right, so this is the karmic relationship in your life is the tie to some type of sector, whether it's a religious sector. I don't even know if cults still exist these days, but if they do, some type of cult or just and you know what? It doesn't even have to be on that high scale. It's what I'm just getting. If this can even be within a small family unit, okay, first a small portion of you, okay, because with the community figure coming up, it wants me to acknowledge that it is on a master level, but there's also this call to acknowledge that for a small portion it can be on a smaller level, where this is what's happening on a small family level. All right. And so you guys are pulling the wool from over your eyes. You guys are waking up. You guys are, and you may be a pal that's going through soul ascension, not soul awakening. Okay, you may be a pal that's going through soul awakening, and so now you're starting to see two and two is not adding up. All right, you're starting to put the pieces to the puzzle together. You're starting to see the control factor behind whatever organizations or whatever groups you may have been following for a significant amount of time. All right. And you guys have a balance. And this is, yeah, so this is the lesson that is meant to come out of this for you, pal number 2, is balance, right? Learning to know when to think for self, okay, and learning when to, I'm getting follow the train, so to say. There has to be a good balance between you allowing others to think for you and you allowing yourself to think for yourself, because there's a connection that's trying to be made between yourself, you, and your higher self. But there's this attachment to this belief system, okay, that has been instilled in you for such a long time that you're not all the way there. Okay, you're not all the way there because it has been ingrained in you for so long. It's almost like you feel bad, right, for wanting to think for yourself, or you may even feel bad for having like thoughts other than what was taught to you, right? So for having your own beliefs or for gaining your own understanding, you may feel as if it's blasphemy, so to say, right? Especially if you grew up in a religious sector, you may feel like these things are in violation of, what this represents. And so you're having a struggle with yourself on being able to view things from a different perspective. All right. And this is why the dark healing chamber is coming up, because this at this point is you have you're being called to gain a sense of who you are. Okay. And to detach from the story, this story here, to detach from what that is. Okay. um as the card says, the healing task of bringing love, acceptance, and light into your life, finding the balance, okay, of bringing love, acceptance, and light into your life, because this mass benefactor and this appearance to be one way but being another type of energy, this is what's consuming you on a soul level. Okay, and the thing is that you don't even know that it's consuming you, and it's not allowing for your soul um to live the way it wants to break free. All right, and there's like this whole type of this, like, different type of energy around this reading, even like down to when I was pulling the cards. It's like this very, it's hard to explain, but just confusion and not knowing, and just it's hard to explain. But you guys have to find the balance within self at this time, okay, in order for you to begin to separate and break free from these energies, okay. And it's especially energies that has just been around you since young age, right? And it's time for you to really develop your own sense of freedom. That's just the word that's coming through, freedom for you guys, okay. And then you guys have healing a lack of agency wound, okay? And it says will show up as a difficulty making decisions or asserting personal needs stemming from a past where autonomy was denied or controlled. Yes, because you guys, and this is why you feel like this type of energy, because you've been taught to think a certain type of way for so long, or you've been told what to do, or controlled in a way where others thought for you, that you don't know how to do it for yourself fully, right? You don't know how to do it for, there's a strong urge for your higher self really wants you to do it. Like, there's a strong pull and for you to do it. And this is why you guys have different insights and clarities like you do, because your higher self is fighting back against whatever this is. All right. They want you to be able to liberate and free yourself from this energy. Okay. But because it has been a part of who you are for so long, this is what can make it difficult, right, for you to walk away from this community, because these are the people that brought you up, right? These are the people who instilled in you whatever belief systems or patterns you have now. So it's kind of, it feels like it will be hard for you to walk away from that. All right. Um, but let's finish the message and say this can manifest as passivity, people pleasing, or a tendency to defer to others, even at the expense of one's own well being. Often accompanied by feelings of powerlessness, this wound may create a fear of conflict, self doubt, or reliance on others for validation and direction. Yep. This is exactly what you guys are struggling and fighting against. Having a sense of self identity. Pound number two. You guys are having a struggle with a sense of self identity. Okay. Because of the circumstances that you grew up in. And back then, especially in younger age, you may not have realized the wolf in sheep's disguise type of imagery, okay, that came with it. But now, as you heal, right, and as you grow, you begin to understand exactly what that is, okay, and you start to begin to realize where two and two was what wasn't adding up at. You're beginning to realize and put the pieces of the puzzles together so that it can benefit you, pal number two, okay, on an individual level. And you guys have to find that balance between being able to do so. All right. And then you guys have needing to heal from abandonment wounds. Okay, and it says will show up as a deep fear of being left behind, rejected, or unloved, often triggering feelings of insecurity and loneliness. They may manifest as clinginess, difficulty trusting others, or a tendency to push people away before they have a chance to leave, stemming from past experiences of neglect, loss, or emotional withdrawal. And what I even got for that pal number two, I do feel like this is, even though it's a community figure, I do feel like you guys have a family who was so involved, let's just say, in a religious sector of their life, right? And they really felt like that was their way to salvation, to the point where they were willing to dismiss anything else, okay, just for the sake of uh, putting in or giving their all to this community figure. And this is to say they were just easily manipulated, right? And so whereas they weren't able to show up for you, okay, they weren't able to show up for you as a child because they were so dedicated and determined to gain their salvation through being connected, right, in this group, whatever it was, right, people pleasing. And so you not only pick up those type of wounds that need to be healed, pal number two, you also, yeah, this there's, you pick up these wounds that need to be healed from, the lack of attachment that was there, right? But at the same time, needing that, it's the energy here is just like so difficult to read, right? And this is just like what I'm picking up, like this is what you guys have are needing to heal. Like, it's the energy is just like, it's so difficult to read. It's like you guys there's a loss of identity, right? There's a loss of sense of self, all right, in this energy, in this power. And it's coming, and the thing is that it's coming from so many different layers and so many different directions, um and this is just what I feel like you guys have been feeling, like being tugged on by the puppet master, right? And this is the energy that it's in. It's just like just being tugged in so many different directions, and this is especially why the balance needs to come in, right? So you guys need to ground yourself, right? There's a lot of grounding that needs to take place in your energy, okay? And it's going to start with removing yourself from these belief systems and patterns that have been in place, okay, based off, your upbringing. All right, but let's see what else we have. And it says, do you know how much darkness it takes to make a star shine? Yeah, so this darkness, PAL number 2, right? It's there to illuminate you. Okay, there for you to kind of burst through it and say that I am a survivor of this, right? I was able to come out of this energy, like how I feel like, I honestly feel like, guys, like I'm serious, like this energy is just like, it just pulls you in and it makes you like confused and you don't know what's going on. And this is the for you, pound number 2, to say that I was able to burst through this energy. Look, you are the star meant to shine in the darkness. So you have darkness here and you have the dark healing chamber. So where it's dark on the outside, pile number 2, it is meant for you to go inside to find that light and illuminate that light so that you can navigate your way through the dark times, right? Through whatever this is, and gaining a sense of self and a sense of identity, because I do feel like it has been lost. Okay, in the karmic relationship, it's um, the attachment that you have, all right, to some type of circumstance or situation that's kind of kept you in the darkness, okay? And so where they weren't the ones to shine the light for you, this is when it's time for you to go within. Power number 2, okay? And then you guys have, you'll never be placed in a storm you can't navigate yourself out of, okay? The universe doesn't want you to break down. It wants you to break free. Yes, and this is exactly like freedom, like this energy. It's like even I want to get out of this energy power number 2. Like I seriously, like this energy, I just want to get out of it because it just feels like it's mind boggling, and it would try to like weigh you down. And so this is what you're meant to break out of, okay? To break free from this, okay? And as the card says, this storm would not be in place if you weren't able to navigate yourself out of it. Okay, call on divine support, call on divine help to help you illuminate your light, okay, to help you to take make your to help you to allow your star to shine, all right, to allow you to realize the sense of self, because you have this agency wound, right? And even look at this on this agency wound, it's just like so much like mumbo jumbo, like here, right? It's just like so much like chaotic like type of energy, and this is what I'm feeling. And it's like here he is on this little thin rope, right? I don't know if he's walking into the chaos or walking out, but either way, like this is what you are meant to like walk out of, that energy, break free from that chaotic energy and that darkness, and step into the light, okay? And allowing yourself to be the light first and foremost. All right. Let's go ahead and take a look at what tarot messages wants to come through. So thank you, beautiful, beloved Mother Goddess Isis. What additional messages do you have for pile number 2 in regards to their karmic relationship? Yeah, so in this lifetime, how number 2, you were meant to seek freedom and to gain a sense of self. All right, to learn to break free from agencies and communities controlling how you think, how you move, how you act, right? Um, so you're meant to, in this lifetime, gain a sense of freedom to think for self and to find the perfect balance. All right. And I do feel like you're meant to break this in this lifetime. And this is why this karmic relation is, this is showing up as a karmic relationship for you. Okay. It's teaching you how to heal self based on the false, others' false pretensions of being able to heal you. Right. It's teaching you how to heal self. Look at this. We have the 5 of Pentacles. Yes, yes, yes. Like you have the key. Look at that key over here in the background, right? It's like this is the organization behind the closed door, right? This is the organization behind the closed door. Even there, though that door is there and whoever's behind there is behind there offering you false hope, false prophecy, or whatever the case may be, it's like you're still feeling lost and out. You're still feeling down and out, right? There's still this sorrow of loss of identity, loss of self, because at this point you've told yourself what they've taught you, and what they've told you was to no avail. All right. So it's like, do you, the key is there, but do I even want to go in that door, or do I want to go inside, like into my own light? Because there's no light there. So now it's like, do I go into my own light, which is internal, right? To find the peace and the clarity and the insight that is needed, because whatever this was, it was not providing you what it needed to in order for your light to shine, in order for your star to shine. All right. And this is where it's time for you to break free from that energy. Pile number 2. This is where it's time for you to break free from that energy. And look, we have the 10 of Pentacles. Okay. And this is definitely you building your own foundation. All right. You building your own foundations for now and generations to come. Look how this doubles up. You go from the 5 of Pentacles to the 10 of Pentacles. You realizing that what they were offering you, what this was offering you, wasn't work. So you build on your own legacy. Okay, with this 10 of Pentacles come up. And it just says that you find the right balance that you need in order to build all of your own legacy. Okay. And you have the 7 of Cups. So whereas, and I love this showing up, because it's like, whereas you were only presented one option or one opportunity within whatever this is, the 7 of Cups showing up lets you know that you have options, okay? And that there has always been options. All right. So whereas you were made to believe that there was just one straight narrow path to salvation, or whatever the end goal was, you begin to wake up and realize that there has always been alternatives. There has always been options. There has always been different roads and different paths that can be taken. Okay. And it doesn't have to be the one and only that they tried to say was the case. Right. And so this is you waking up to that. Okay. And not only realizing those options for yourself, but for future generations. All right. And we also have the 8 of Pentacles. All right. And I love this showing up, because this is you putting in the work, pal number 2. All right. And you go from the 5 of Pentacles, right, feeling lost and down and out, to someone who has lifted themselves up, right, went through all of the phases, all right, went through all of the phases and pulled themselves together, put in the work. Look at this. Put in the work to better themselves, put in the work to change their situations or circumstances. All right. So you go from this to this when you allow your healing to take place and when you allow your inner light to shine, pile number 2, and you break free from those things that has been keeping you stuck and trapped in certain type of energy, lost and confused energy. And it's like so funny because I actually feel that the energy has lifted. That chaotic energy that I was feeling, it was not even chaos, it was just a lot, right? And I feel like the more I moved out of talking about that, the more the energy got lighter. So this is the more you remove yourself from whatever this is, okay, out of the confusion, the more you'll gain a sense of clarity, all right? The more you'll be able to lift your head up and see, right? See the vision, see the options, see the opportunities, and start a new foundation to build off on for yourself and for your future generations to come. All right. So that is all I have for you, my lovely pal number 2. Really hope you enjoy. If so, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, my lovelies, take care and bye bye. Hello to those of you who chose pound number 3. So this is your image. All right. And the message is the brother in darkness. Okay. And it says, whenever negative energy is present, it is a sign that we are ready to move more deeply into our feminine divine power. You shall overcome any negative energy with grace and triumph. Stay in your heart. There is no need to be afraid. All right. The brother in darkness. Yes, you will prevail. Pal number 3. You will prevail against any negative energy, any negative forces, any negative situations or circumstances. Okay. And this card shows up a lot in my readings. And I know this because we all are trying to prevail against the darkness at this time, right? We all are trying to hold on for dear life to our light, okay, amidst the dark, all the darkness that's going on around us, right? And so you are no exception, pile number 3, all right? You will definitely prevail against any negative situations, circumstances, obstacles, challenges, anything that is been put in your path, put on your path, put in your way, you are meant to overcome that. All right. And so this message, this reading is to take a look at, who in your life right now is a karmic relationship. Okay. And we'll take a look based on what cards come out. If, they are there to help you in this time of darkness, to persevere, to push through, or if they are the ones who are keeping you in that darkness, right? So we'll take a look at that. But whatever the case may be, okay, as the card says, you shall overcome any negative energy with grace and triumph. And I really feel strongly that you guys have a huge supportive spiritual community. Okay, you guys have a huge supportive spiritual community who are rooting for you, who are protecting you, who are watching over you, and this is why you will be able to go through these things and come out of them with the grace and with triumph, right? Because they've had your back from day one. So even when it may feel like it, they don't, trust and believe that they do. Okay. Things happen for a reason. Everything happens for a reason, even when we can't make sense of that. All right. So that is the message that came through with the brother in darkness card. So now we're going to take a look and see who is a karmic relationship to you. All right. And you guys have stepchild. All right. Resentful outsider. Okay. So for whoever this applies to, and the message is they enter into your life carrying the weight of another's love with the wounds of a past you didn't create, whether through rejection, constant conflict, or silent distance. They teach you that family cannot be forced, and not every role comes with acceptance. Okay. And so, stepchild, all right, this is a karmic relationship right now for whoever this resonates with. Okay. Either you are already in a relationship where there's a stepchild involved, or you are considering going deeper or further into an existing relationship where there will be a stepchild or stepchildren involved. Okay. In either scenario, this stepchild or these stepchildren are going to be a karmic relationship for you. Okay. They are here, or their purpose is to help you ignite the flame. And you know why I'm saying that? It's so funny because right as, I was getting into this, I realized that my candle wasn't lit. And so that right there was a sign that they are here to help you ignite something within. Pile number 3. And it may not always be rainbows and sunshines, if that's how the saying goes, but they are definitely there to spark something within you around some form of understanding. Okay, and I just got patience. Okay, they are definitely there to teach you a form of patience, acceptance. All right, they are there to teach you acceptance. So I got patience and acceptance coming through. All right, and overcoming. They are there to help you to teach the benefit of persevering through situations and obstacles, right? Overcoming difficult situations. Okay. So these are some of the key things that these people in your life are going to be there, well, specifically stepchildren, a stepchild or stepchildren. This is what they're going to be there for. All right. And they are going to be helping you, power number 3, to release some karmic debts. Okay. Patience is a big thing here. Okay. Patience is a big thing here. Um, because I feel like with this stepchild, you're not only meant to, they're not here to help heal you as much as you are to help heal them. Okay, so this is what's coming through. You are meant to more so help to heal them. um, Power number 3, to help them step out of the darkness and the negative energy that may try to consume them around the situation that they're in, right? Because they could have the option, right, to walk into this extended relationship or extended family with open arms, right? With open hands, open arms, and really ready and willing to let love in. They could do that, right? But I feel like for the most, they would choose to walk in resentful if they're not already in. If you're not already um, in this, not yet. They're in the future. These stepchildren or stepchild can choose to walk in resentful, right? The resentful outsider. So they have the option to walk in with love and open arms, right? But they choose to walk in resentful. And this could be because of, what's fed to them on the other side, or just their own personal beliefs around it, because obviously they themselves are going to be going through their own inner turmoil based off the situation and circumstance. So whatever the case is, you're going to be meant to help them to break out of that darkness, right? By offering them acceptance, by offering them love and light, right? And um, teaching in a way where it's not forced. Okay, teaching where it's not forced, but it's there. Okay, it's there for the taking whenever they're ready. All right. And then you guys have spell intention energy, and it says the magic. All right, and I automatically just got with this, guys, that you guys have a healing ability, and this is how you're meant to help. okay, this situation, for whoever this resonates with. You guys have a healing ability. And this is why I felt too, like when I was saying, like, you guys have a strong, supportive spiritual team. It's because you walk hand in hand with them to the point where you're able to intuitively and insightfully get yourself out of situations, right? Not just through the help of them, but through your own ability and will to do so, right? And so you have this in you to help. You have this healing ability in you, um, to not only help heal yourself, but to help heal others. And this is what you're going to be meant to do with this stepchild. All right. And the message says, not all eyes watching you are physical. Yes. And not all hands touching you have form. Yes. This energy moves in silence, woven into spells and the mutterings of unseen intentions. Whether a blessing or a burden, magic sent is magic returned. For energy obeys no master but balance. The lesson can be understanding of universal law, learning of your true power, and activation of your awareness in the unseen. Yes, power number 3. You guys have a strong ability to heal. You guys have a strong ability to be in tune with the divine and to connect to magic, right? You have, and this is what I was feeling with that. All right. So you guys are not the brother in darkness. You guys are healers of the brother in darkness. All right. You know how to transmute energies. You know how to shift energies around to work in your favor. Okay. And you know how to do it unintentionally. So imagine then actually doing it intentionally, the powers that you are able to manifest with that ability, right? You guys are the magic. You guys are healers. Okay. And this is why, with this stepchild who's a karmic relationship in your life, you are meant to heal this stepchild. Okay. Stepchild or stepchildren, whether they're there right now or they'll be there in the future and you don't know it yet. Okay. So just keep this message and keep this reading in mind. Any stepchildren, if you're someone listening to this video, any stepchildren or any stepchild that you are involved with or will be involved with, you are meant to be a beacon of light and hope for them. Okay, you are meant to help heal them because their inner healing that needs to take place, they will not showcase it to the world. You won't know what they're going through. Okay, it's what I'm getting. You won't know what they are going through. So it's going to be up to you to provide just the right amount, right? Without force, just the right amount of love, just the right amount of acceptance, just the right amount of guidance. Okay, that's going to be needed in order for them to fully open up to and to trust you with being vulnerable, with them being able to be vulnerable. All right. And this is how the healing is going to take place. Okay. It's going to be through you working from a place of internally so that you can eventually get to the point where you can work with them externally. All right. And then you guys have impulsiveness. All right. And so with this, I just got, don't be so quick to jump the gun, right? Don't be so quick to judge. Don't be so quick to jump on the bandwagon. All right. And this is where it came with the stepchild card, where it mentioned not with force. All right, so this is a very steady type of energy that you all need to be in when it comes to this stepchild or stepchildren, present or future. All right, there needs to be a steady energy around this. Okay, and not feeling impulsive to don't be so quick to be impulsive to feel like you can fix this person, okay, or people, if it's plural, more than one. All right, slow and steady energy is what's going to work in this situation with this child or children. Okay, and they don't have to be like minor age. You know, they could be in their uh, adolescent years, right? They can be at early adult ages, and some of you may even have grown stepchildren, right? That needs healing in some form or fashion. Okay, and you are the healer for this person or persons. Pal number 3. All right, and then we have needing to heal from codependency wounds. Okay, and this may be what this stepchild had been feeling, right? Because when you lose, I would think that when one parent is lost, it's like you kind of attach to the other in some way for direction, right? Because it's like if you feel like you've lost one, you definitely don't want to use the other one, right? And so this is what I'm picking up with that. But the message says will show up as relying excessively on others for validation and emotional support. Yes, often neglecting your own needs. It may involve difficulty setting boundaries and feeling unworthy of love unless you're constantly giving to others. Rooted in past neglect or enmeshment. Yes, and this is for the stepchild. All right. Um, they need to heal codependency wounds, right? Wanting to feel attached because of fear of if you lost one, then you definitely don't want to lose the other, right? And so this is where you come in, pal number 3, to offer that sense of support and stability. All right, that's what it's going to be. That's going to be your role and your part, is offering a sense of support and stability around around this. Okay, and it keeps being brought to the attention of with ease and not with force. All right, not forcing yourself into um, their their bubble. not forcing not forcing yourself into their private space, okay, until they openly invite you in. Okay, so just taking it one step at a time around this. Okay, and then needing to address fear of success, and it says will show up as self-sabotage. And you know what I just got with this? It's like someone not wanting to leave the nest. So that's also a form of codependency, right? Of also a form of attachment, right? So some of you may be going through this with your stepchildren. There's like this form of codependency so much to where they don't want to be successful, right? They don't want to be able to thrive and make it on their own because they want to stay attached. Okay, look how they're binded here by the hands, right? They want to stay attached. They want to feel wanted, okay? They want to feel as if they belong. So they have this fear of being able to prove that they can be independent because they're so happy being dependent, right, on yourself, your spouse, or whatever the situation is. So you got some of you definitely are not empty nesters, what I just got, right? You have someone who is a stepchild that is still codependent on you to this day. And so you are there to help, like I said, provide a sense of stability, right, and security, but to also let them learn how to lead their own way. All right. And so, okay, so it says will show up as self sabotage, procrastination, or an unconscious resistance to stepping into your full potential. All right, it may manifest as a fear of the responsibilities, expectations, or changes that success might bring, often stemming from beliefs that you are not worthy of success, or that achieving your goals will lead to unwanted attention, isolation, or pressure. Yes, so this is definitely what they are straying away from. Okay, pile number three. So if you didn't know, now you do. If you have little birdies there that haven't left the nest, it's not because they can't. It's because they don't want to, right? They are not pushing themselves to that ability because of them needing to feel as if they belong, okay? And where they're at right now gives them a sense of belonging. All right. And so this too is something that you have to learn to work with, as far as incorporating or implementing different type of conversations or different type of ways to kind of show them the way, show them that they can be successful, show them that they don't have to depend on yourself or your spouse, and that they can go out there and achieve something in the real world, right? But slow and steady, okay? Nothing too impulsive, especially if you know you're already at that stage where you're beyond frustrated and your impulse is just to be like, throw it all out there. Don't fight that impulse to do that, right? And realize that your role is to be the healer for this person in the situation, okay? To help starting from internal, helping them to address if they have a fear of success, why is it? If they are codependent, why is it? Okay, and this could all stem from childhood situations where they were separated, their parents were separated, and here they are now. And not to say that where they went was unstable, but for them it would have been unstable, considering that it was a division of something that was stable for them at one point, right? So helping them to address those things that obviously a lot of people, especially kids, would just sweep under the rug, right? And bury into the subconscious, not realizing that it created patterns such as codependency and having this fear of being successful. They don't recognize that those things that they bury are still has still found a way to show up in their lives in different ways. And so this is why it would need to be addressed, okay? And you are the healer in the family. Pound number three. That's what I just got. You are the healer in the family. Okay, meaning you have the right words, the right tools, the right insight, the right magic to help this situation with a stepchild. Okay, and it doesn't have to be, like I say, something that's present. Okay, it could be something that's going to happen in the future and you're not aware of it yet. All right. And if it is present, it doesn't have to be, it could be any age, is what I'm getting. Your stepchild could be of any age, your stepchildren could be of any age. The point is that you are meant to be a significant role in their lives, and they're actually going to help you. Helping them is going to help you release your karmic debt. Power number three. All right. And then it says you have the degree to which a person can grow is directly proportional to the amount of truth they can accept about themselves without running away. All right. So slow and steady, right? Slow and steady. You're not throwing it all out there at one time. Okay, this is why I said the degree to which a person can grow is directly proportional to the amount of truth they can accept about themselves without running away. Taking that one step at a time and not being aggressive. Like, this is huge, right? Trying to enlighten, right? And look at this person just like take it off, right? They don't want to hear it. They don't want to be bothered because look how swiftly, right? Swiftly he's coming in, right? And he's like, I don't want to hear it. So this is you being mindful, okay? You being mindful to not have that impulse to go straight in for it, right? And to just really be slow and steady in how you approach the different matters, okay, when it comes to a stepchild or stepchildren. All right. And then you have some people won't be able to love you the way you wanted them to. Compassion creates understanding. Yes. And this is so fitting, right? This is so fitting because, especially with a stepchild, right? You might want them to embrace you and latch on to you and, really take you all in, right? Because that would be the ideal relationship, right? Between a stepchild and step parent. Um, but no, that's probably hardly ever the case, honestly. And I don't have experience with stepchildren, but I would just assume, right? I would assume that it would be the complete opposite of what you wanted it to be, because you have to think they're going through their own things internally around this new dynamic. Okay, around this new dynamic, they're going through something. You're, especially if you're an adult, like you're an adult, your mind is already mature, so to say, so you know how to just take things and make it work for you. But if you're someone who's not as mature or younger, like, you wouldn't necessarily know how to process such a huge new dynamic of a new family situation, right? And so you can't expect for them to be all, 100% on board with that. And so that's why it says compassion creates understanding, slow and steady, and not being so quick to be impulsive and saying, well, this is how I feel like this person should feel towards me, and they're going to feel like this towards me, and that's how it's going to be. Like, no, just being compassionate and being open and being understanding to the situation. Okay. And this is what's going to allow for them to open up to you, so that the healing can take place. Because there's definitely healing that needs to take place with the stepchild or stepchildren in your life, pal number 3, and you're the ones who are meant to help them with that. All right. So now let's see what tarot messages we have. So thank you, beautiful, beloved Mother Goddess Isis. What other messages do you have for pal number 3? All right. Yeah, so they're going to, and like I said, I'm getting to this is for a good portion of people who are not in this situation yet. But this is a a early message shout out for that situation, right? And so your spirit team really wants you to take heed to this message, okay? So if it's not resonating now, remember this reading for when it does. All right, strength. Yes, 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 yes. Pile number 3. You are meant to be the backbone, okay? You are meant to be the healing provider, right? The person to help restore strength in this situation, okay? For whoever this person is. You are meant to be their backbone, um, help them face situations dead on, face forward, right? To address their fears, okay? Address their codependency needs, help instill in them the strength that they're lacking or that they are missing. All right. 7 of Swords. All right. And I just got guide them out of the unseen times, the unknown times, right? Because they may feel like they have it all figured out, or that they're being sneaky or conniving in some way, and they don't realize that you see right through it, right? So take them out of that shadow part of themselves. Power number 3 is what you're meant to do. Take them out of that shadow side of themselves, and let them know that they can be so much better than that, right? They don't have to resort to a shady way of being or a shady way of living, right? Because it's a front, right? It's like they're putting on a show because they're trying to mask their true feelings and their true um, emotions, right? So they put on this show, but you're going to see right through that. All right, you're gonna see right through that. Oh, I can't do this because of that, or this, whatever the case, whatever excuses they're coming up with, so as to not be successful on purpose, right? You're gonna see right through that, and you're gonna help them to address it, okay, in a more positive manner, bringing about balance. Look at that. You are the person who's gonna see through that, and the Justice card pops up. Yes, right? And then at the bottom, it's also like the shadow, right? You are going to be the person to help them balance themselves out, right? Because you're going to cut through that BS that they may be trying to present you or the world or your spouse. You're going to be, just like I just said, you're going to be the one to see through this sneakiness, right? This front that they put on, and you're going to, help them to just really acknowledge their true inner self, right? And help them to shine. That's what you're here to do, power number 3. Help them to shine, help them to heal, help them to recover uh, what trauma stayed attached to them. And it could be in regards to them becoming a stepchild, right? They went from something that they thought was stable to, in their mind, something that was unstable because they no longer have their real parent. They have a step parent, right? All right. And then you guys have judgment in reverse. All right. And this is you, pal number 3, helping them to, because right now they're choosing to look, fear of success. They're choosing to not see the truth. Okay. And I guess it doesn't have to be, right now. Okay. This is timeless reading. So it can be whenever, but they're going to be choosing to not see the truth, right? To not answer their true call of their potential and their ability, right? They're going to be trying to choose to not do that because of the fact that they want to be codependent. They want to feel attached. They want to not be separated from what their comfort is, right? And so I love how the Justice is in between these two. Okay, you have the sneaky 7 of Swords and you have the Judgment in reverse. And so this is them fighting their inner selves, and you're going to be the one to come in and help to reveal to them their inner truth, okay, their inner ability, okay, help them to break free of denial, okay, being their strength and helping to balance things out, help them to address the brother in darkness. All right, this is what you're here to do as a healer, for this person, pal number 3. This is what you are here meant to do for them. All right. And so that's going to be a significant role for you to play. All right. So that is all I have for you, my lovely pal number 3. Really hope you enjoy. If so, please be sure to like, share, subscribe. And until next time, my lovelies, take care and bye bye.